Coach.
All right. Hey, hello, guys. I kind of want to echo what Coach Tanner said at the start about Coach Muschamp and my feelings for Will. Will is, the main reason that I chose South Carolina. Obviously the type of football coach he is, but the type of man he is, what he represents, and how he goes about his business. And I've only been here a short time, but able to work with him for the first time in my coaching career. Very, very professional about how he goes about his business, about how he lets his coaches coach, the way he treats his players. And it was a tough time yesterday. It's like I told the team last night after Coach talked to him. We lost, our coach. We lost our leader. And a lot of us coaches lost a friend and a father figure to a lot of those players. So it was a tough day yesterday. It'll be a tough time going forward. And like Coach told him, and then I talked to him afterwards. Life is tough too. You're defined by how you respond to challenges. And we definitely got a challenge in front of us, as a football team and as a football staff, but it's also an opportunity to come together even closer than what we were and play for something. We got another opportunity this week. It'd be one thing if the season was over, but we do have more opportunities to play and represent, South Carolina. And that's my job sitting here today is to get this team ready to go this Saturday, to put the best foot forward when we take the field Saturday night and play with a heart and passion for South Carolina. Questions?
We'll open up for questions. I would advise you, Coach Bobo will be available tomorrow at 12:30 in the regular Tuesday press conference. So the Missouri questions, if you want to table those till tomorrow, they'd probably help us, as obviously we've got a lot of questions to get through. So having said that, if David would go first.
Hey, Mike, thanks for doing this. How do you approach these next 3 weeks or even longer? I mean, do you look at this as, just it was a tough thing to do to take this team forward, or do you look at this as it's a second chance for your head coaching career?
No, it's not about me. And Coach kind of mentioned it's about us. It's about we. It's about it's about everybody. We all have individual goals and aspirations, but to be honest, it's not about that. It's about these players. It's about doing our job as the adult, as the leader, as the coach, and showing these kids how you respond to adversity. That you got to get up and you got to go to work, and that's going to be my message and how I go about my business as we move forward on a day-to-day basis with these kids and with the staff.
Cox.
Mike, I know you're an offensive guy, but do you now take a look at the defense, making possible changes in your staff reassignments or personnel on the defensive side of the ball?
I'm going to look at everything, and again, it goes to what gives us the best chance to win the ball game this coming Saturday against Missouri. So we're going to do whatever we feel like gives us the best chance to win that ball game. We are going to assign a 10th coach, and that's going to be Connor Shaw. It's going to help out in the quarterback room. Just take, for example, today, I haven't, been able to be in the offensive staff room more than 5 minutes today. So there's some things that need to be, handled throughout the day and maybe during practice some as your role expands as a head coach, that Connor's going to assume those duties. But, as far as, offensive, defensively, and special teams, we're going to look at a lot of things. And again, we're going to do what we feel like gives us the best chance to win the ball game on Saturday. And that's what Coach Tanner has entrusted, me to do, and talk to our staff last night, is to go to work and put our best foot forward. And that's what we intend to do. And that's what the other coaches in this building intend to do.
Mike Bobo.
Mike, what do you tell these players right now? Because obviously they're hurting. You have young men, some freshmen, sophomores. What do you tell them, knowing that you got 3 more opportunities, potentially a bowl game left, but just trying to get back to work today and get ready for a game this weekend?
Well, we had a chance to visit with them last night after Coach finished talking to them, and Coach Tanner, President Caslin, addressed the team. Monday is our day off. It's the way the schedule is set up through Coach Muschamp. So, basically talk to them, let them know that I realize they were hurting. Let's have a day to process. Let's come in and get our treatment. We go to class. Let's have a day to process, and we come in this building. We're coming in the building to work. And that's easier said than done. I know we're going to have to work through things as we continue to move forward. But, the thing about, playing this sport, you tend to, it's a family, and guys are close, and guys are going to want to play for each other. And that's going to be the objective. But today is more of a process day for those guys. I know they're hurting. They all, chose to come play for Coach Muschamp, but they also chose to come to the University of South Carolina, just like I did. And, that's the name that we represent now, and that's what we plan on doing on Saturday.
Ben?
Two questions. First of all, as interim head coach, are you still going to call plays? And also, what kind of lessons what lessons can you take from your Colorado State tenure and apply them to these last 3 games?
My initial, I plan on still calling the plays and being involved offensively. I would think, what one lesson that you learn is that, as a head coach, when you're involved on one side of the ball is to make sure you spread yourself out. And I think my biggest job is morale and getting these guys ready to play and play for each other and play for South Carolina. We've got an unbelievable staff on both sides of the ball that are good football coaches. Sometimes it is a bottom line business. Coach made mention of that. It's about wins and losses, but they're good football coaches that lose ball games on Saturdays. Sometimes things happen that are out of your control, and I believe in that staff that Coach Muschamp has put together. I believe in that offensive staff that we have in that offensive room, and I've entrusted them. They've been in there working all morning and put together a plan, and so I'll probably be more hands-on and morale, reaching out to kids today and talking to them one-on-one about where their head's at, the leadership of this football team, and making sure we're emotionally ready to go for this game. A lot of people, we looked at wins and losses, but this has been a tough year. You don't have spring ball. You don't have your off-season regular conditioning program. You bring them back right after the 4th of July. And these kids have basically been practicing since July 13th. I mean, that's a long time. I think we're on our 18th or 19th week of practicing football. And that's a long time. And football is a heart and passion sport. And a lot of what makes this place special here is the passion that you get on Saturdays, and you don't have that because of the pandemic. And it's been a long and challenging year. And, kids are resilient, but they're also kids too. So, our job as coaches and teachers is, to, again, show them the way of how you go about your business and work when things aren't ideal. And we're not in an ideal time, and this is an ideal situation, but we still have a job to do. I've got a job to do, and they've got a job to do in representing South Carolina.
Eric Boynton?
Yeah, Mike, you're obviously aware of the realities of the coaching profession, but were you at all surprised that with only 3 games left, that they were going to make a change right to the end of the season? And secondly, you offered the interim job. Did you seek out Coach Muschamp's blessing before you accepted due to the nature of your close relationship?
I'm gonna say I'm not surprised by anything in this profession. It's not a patient profession. You go take any job or go into any situation. We all realize it's a bottom line business, and But I wasn't sitting here, thinking it was going to happen. If we don't win this game, win it. You can't concern yourself with those things. You concern yourself with, doing your job and getting your guys ready to play on a week to week on a day-to-day basis. Coach Muschamp pulled me in yesterday earlier in the morning around lunchtime, and we talked about a lot of things. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I did talk to Coach before I talked to Coach Tanner.
Kyle Thomas.
Mike, thank you for doing this. When you were presented the opportunity to take over, what was going through your mind? What were you feeling whenever you were asked to take over as the interim head coach?
I was hired here to do a job. I wasn't hired here to be the interim head coach. I didn't come here to be the interim head coach. I didn't come here to aspirations to be the head coach. I came here to work for Will Muschamp and help him succeed here. So when the news came down, my initial transparent honesty is I felt like I let Coach Muschamp down. That I didn't get the job needed to get done on offense to help us win enough games. So that's what upset me. But at the same time, I was asked to do a job. I told the team last night, the result was not what we wanted last week at all. But those kids fought their tails off. And if I saw any quit or any culture problems on this football team, I would not want to be part of this. And Coach Tanner mentioned it earlier, the culture and these kids and what they're about. Coach Muschamp has a great group of kids, and it's because of Coach. And I wanted the chance to finish out this season and do the right thing by Coach Muschamp and this university that hired me.
Colin Taylor.
Mike, 2 questions. Just health-wise, how are you feeling, and do you feel like you're ready for the stresses that come with being a head coach?
Trust me, there's stress in being an offensive coordinator too. That's part of this profession is stress, but part of this profession is pressure, and I think pressure is a privilege. I chose this place because of Will and because of this place has a chance to, I believe, be a great place. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I knew there was going to be more pressure here. There were going to be more challenges. So that doesn't worry me about extra stress, extra pressure. My health's fine. I feel great. My weight's not good. I need to lose some weight, but other than that, I feel good.
We all probably need to lose a little bit of weight. I'm curious too, what's your role now in recruiting with some of these guys you have committed for this 2020?
We're in the process of the assistant coaches reaching out to guys and talking to them and letting them know the situation after our conversation with Coach Tanner last night. It would just be communication, and talk to them about, South Carolina and the process that Coach is going through and finding a head coach, and that, South Carolina is going to be committed to them and, for them to be patient. And, you chose South Carolina for a lot of reasons, not just a lot of them were Coach Muschamp, but a lot of them to do with, wanting to play here and play at Williams-Brice and get an education here at South Carolina. So we're going to continue to sell those things and, be honest and transparent. There's nothing, in a situation like this, to me, it's all about honesty to those kids, being honest about where we're at. What are we doing at this moment? What's my job? What's Coach's Tanner's, what he's doing as far as the search and him being honest with the recruits too. I think that's the only way to be is honest and transparent. And if I can't give an answer, you're honest about it. You don't know the answer to that. And those kids have to make those decisions.
Pete Acabelli.
Mike, just 2 quick things. So you said you're still going to call plays. Does that mean will you call plays from the box, or will you be down on the sidelines now?
I'll be on the sideline. I was actually on the sideline this last game against Ole Miss, but I'll be on the sidelines. And I might, move somebody up in the box. Last week I put Des Kitchens in the box for an extra set of eyes. I haven't got that far. I do know Joe Cox is in there right now. He's heading up our offensive meeting and kind of taking over my role in that meeting room. So I'll get together with him and the rest of our offensive staff and see where we're at as far as game plan wise for practice tomorrow. Tuesday is usually a first or second down day. the plays that we're going to run on first and second down and see where we're at and go from there. But I will be on the sideline for the game.
And have you talked to Will since all this happened, and how's he doing and holding up?
Yeah, I talked to Will several times yesterday before I talked to Coach, and then I called him on the way home, and basically just let him know I was thinking about him, apologized for not helping him get it done, and talked about our kids, and talked about both our kids playing for a state championship on Friday night at Hammond. They're playing in Charleston Southern, I believe that's who they're playing there for the state championship. So we talked about that.
Chandler Mack.
Hey, Coach Bobo, thanks for doing this today. Just kind of talk to us about, this has been a trying year on so many fronts, from the COVID-19 pandemic to the protests that took place earlier this year, and now to, obviously, Coach Muschamp getting fired. Talk to me about what was that first meeting like with the players, and what's the morale of the team like right now?
Well, I would say, we're not there. It was a tough day yesterday. It's been a tough year. It was a tough Saturday night in Oxford. All tough situations that they're dealing with. And Coach told me one time, winning's good for team morale and losing's bad for team morale. So when you're losing ball games, morale is not necessarily great. And then you lose, your leader and your head coach yesterday. Morale's a little bit down. But we talked to the leaders on the team. We broke off individually and talked positionally. And you've got good men on this staff that Coach Muschamp hired, and talk to these kids about, life and how you handle adversity. How do you handle things when they don't go your way? And again, that will be, our message to the guys, but we'll also try not just words, but we're going to show them how you go about your business when things don't go your way. And that's my number one job, and these coaches' number one job, is to show these kids, the way you go about things when things don't go your way. And things haven't went our way. But there are a lot of things that don't go people's way in life that people are dealing with a lot worse things than what we're dealing with right now. And we ought to be thankful that, we're healthy and we get to play the game of football and have another opportunity on Saturday to play 7:30 against an SEC opponent in Missouri.
We'll take three more, Scott, then Ben and Phil. Scott.
Mike, did Will indicate to you at all in your conversations what his kind of plan is going forward? Does he want to lay low for a little while? Does he want to jump right back into being a head coach, or do you think he'll kind of revert back to his days as a defensive coordinator?
I'm not going to get into any personal, no disrespect, Scott, but that's personal, and that's a question for Will.
Ben.
Mike, just what kind of, do you have a sense of how much your daily routines are going to change with this, with this move up? How does your life and how does your day sort of shift on that front?
It's 4 minutes to 11, and I haven't watched one bit of film of Missouri's defense. And normally I would be, halfway through first and second down game planning right now. So there's the number one example with media and talking to players and setting the schedule with our with George Wynn, our director of football operations. There's just things that grab you when you're a head coach and responsibilities that you have. So, that's the number one thing. But again, I feel confident of the guys I've got sitting in that room offensively. I feel confident in Joe Cox, in him being able to, along with the rest of the staff, get a game plan that will give us the best chance to be productive offensively. And, and then meeting with Coach T-Rob this morning before the defense got started, and meeting with Kyle Krantz, our special team. So that's going to take a lot of your time. And so my primary job of getting a game plan with the offense is kind of put on hold because of the interim head coach responsibilities.
The last question goes to Phil Kornbluth.
Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us today. So there's going to be a lot of jobs opening up around the country in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Will you and your assistants be allowed to also entertain other opportunities, talk with other schools while you're finishing out your commitment to South Carolina? Will that be allowed for you guys, or do you have to wait until the
Well,
season's
I
over?
can't, Coach Tanner really didn't address that last night, but, I addressed it with our staff. We all got families. We've all got, people that we gotta, that we have to provide for. But we also have a job to do here. I told them I expect them, to do jobs here, get these guys ready to go, and we all get on the same page and get this thing done together and finish this thing strong. The job that we have and responsibilities we have to South Carolina, but at the same time, you have to get on the phone and talk about the opportunities. You have to do that. But the expectation was for our coaches, to get ready to go and put the best foot forward for South Carolina. But at the same time, things start happening, and guys got to be on the front end of jobs. So, they're professionals. They're good men that coach hired that have high character and integrity, that want to do right by coach, and they want to do right by these kids. That's why we all get in the business, is for these kids. And the job, the coach is to teach, and they want to teach these guys how to handle things the right way and finish things the right way. So I have no doubt that they're going to do their jobs the way that Coach Muschamp would want them to, that Coach Tanner would want them to, and the way I want them to now as the interim head coach.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I'll let